What is up, y'all? Welcome back to Yapping with Jelly. A long time no see. Thank you so much for being here today. Um, I want to talk a little bit about FIFO work, fly in, fly out work, or drive in, drive out work. Mainly because my partner is currently doing FIFO. And my dad did FIFO for a lot of my early life. And I've seen a lot of people around me do FIFO work. Some of it successful, some of it not so much. And it's fucking hard. I low key don't like FIFO, and I've never done it. And I kind of want to explain a little bit of my point of view on it because it's been in my head a lot and I need to get it out. And there's too much going on in my head right now. Okay. So if you see me in like the same outfit for like 3 videos, it is because I'm getting everything out of my head because yeah. Anyway, fly in, fly out work. I think for the short term, it is very good to boost up your income. However, it is very draining from what I've heard on your body physically and mentally and emotionally if it is not done correctly. And from what I've been hearing from a lot of fucking people is that it is very rarely done correctly. And what I mean by that is a lot of FIFO sites, like a lot of mining work, but it can be there's a whole lot of other industries involved in it as well. A lot of the sites are shit, pretty much. One of my courses I did at uni this semester was like health, safety, and environment, and that was just like a basic course. And there was so many things that popped up that I've like heard about in FIFO sites that I'm like, that's not even like basic health, safety, and environment. Like that is so unhealthy for everybody in that situation. And I think there is a lot that does need to change with a lot of those sites. And there is seems to be a bit of an improvement, and they have definitely improved from back in the day. However, there are still so many that I've heard about. Their rooms are the lights aren't working, the fans aren't working, the toilet's not flushing, the bathroom stinks, the carpet's shit. There's only like a few washing machines, things that are like people are getting sick from the food was like shit, the food's so unhealthy, all those little things, and there's like nothing to do. I do understand on these sites that a lot of the time it could be in the middle of bumfuck nowhere because it's a mine, so they don't necessarily have all the resources to go out there. But when you are having workers doing 10 to 14-hour days and then going to their room or their camp or the mess or whatever it is, and it being to the lowest standard there possibly is, no wonder why there are so many issues with these workers. And my heart fucking breaks every time I hear a story about it. I really would like to try and work out how I can change it or how I can push forward for a change, or how I can get someone somewhere to get a better look at it and to fucking make it better, because these guys are in the absolute doghouse. No person should be in there. And that is why they get paid so much, and that shouldn't, and that they don't even get paid. They get paid so much because of the long hours and because of how like isolated it is, and the work they are doing is quite dangerous. That doesn't mean that their living situation should also be dangerous. Like, there's mold on the ceilings, there shouldn't be mold anywhere. And I get sometimes it's hard to take care of and it's hard to keep clean, but when these workers are already in such an isolated state, they're already physically fucking tired and they're already mentally tired, and then you bring them back to an emotionally unstable and a physically harmful environment, these workers are like, something's got to give. It breaks my fucking heart. And the amount of workers that I see who come back from their swing and all they do is like blow their money because because they're just trying to find a sense of being able to live because of these shitty ass conditions. I'm one to talk. I've never like been to a FIFO site. I've never seen one in real life. I've never done these mine site hours. I have done 14-hour days before. I have done 12-hour days before. I've done long hours, and I know how hard that has been on me when I have been able to come home with a nice roof over my head and a proper shower and a proper meal. Seeing these workers and hearing about it, I'm baffled. And I'm really like, why are people not speaking up about it more? And I think because of such a broad mentality around male workers not being able to speak out or not wanting to, seen as lower than their mates because they've gone, hey, this is shit. Or like just taking it as, oh, it's part of the job, or like, oh, you do what you gotta do. No, you don't gotta do, like, not in that sense. You can't be pushing your body and your mind and everything to the fucking limit and not even having a nice place to sleep at night. It's so, I get so worked up about it, and I'm not even there. I'm not even the one doing the work. I'm just seeing it and going, how the fuck are you still dealing with that and not saying anything? Like, my partner will tell me something and will laugh it off, and I'm sitting there going, what do you mean? That's harmful. You shouldn't be. And he's like, oh, it's part of the job. It shouldn't be part of the job. That is my thing. It shouldn't be part of the job to have mold on your ceiling. It shouldn't be part of your job to be getting sick from the food because it was off. It is not part of the job to not have any support out there. Like, I can't wrap my head around it, and I cannot fathom it, and I don't understand why there isn't a bigger change and a more impactful change. I do know there are some sites that have gotten a lot better, that have better gyms and like have a pool or have like a community center. They have a full kitchen, they have like a buffet style. Like, I do know there are some sites starting up like that, and that is amazing. And that is truly incredible. But for all of these little sites, I can't wrap my head around it, and I don't know how to change it. As a person who is constantly trying to change things for the better, it aggravates me that I can't seem to change this, and I don't know how to change it, and it's not on me to change, and I know that it's not on me to change it, but I was like, there's got to be something I can do, and I don't know what it is, and I don't think there is something that I can do about it necessarily. But fuck, it's angering, and I don't get how other people aren't mad about it and aren't like upset about it. And on the other side to it, I see all these like families who, like, the father goes and does FIFO, and so the mother's left at home with these screaming kids and has to parent by herself. And then when the husband gets back from this shitty ass site and these long ass fucking hours, and they're exhausted and they just want to come home and chill, but they can't. And then like the mother's so overwhelmed and like got so many things, and they're overwhelmed, so then they're butting heads. They're like missing out on half of their kid's life while trying to support them. And then like it's a shit storm. It is honestly a shit show, and I understand why people do it, to get the money from it and to support their family. But in the long run and in the long term, I do not think that if you have children that you should be doing FIFO, because it is more damaging to the family and to your children than it is to your financial situation. And that could be a very controversial topic, and that could have a lot of people riling up against it. But as a child of a FIFO worker, it's fucking shit. It was shit for everybody. And I see so many other families going through similar things, and it's hard to watch and it's hard to look at. Like, I know every situation is different, and I know every family is different, and every work is different. No one is going to have the same experiences, but the fact that people are having a lot of very similar experiences, that is when you start to realize that something is wrong. I know in my situation, it was hard for everybody. And you can ask everybody individually how it impacted them, and everybody would have a different story. Like, obviously, everybody's different. Everybody has their own impacts. It does impact everybody. And it doesn't just impact the worker. And it's not just that FIFO worker that is missing out on everything, and it's not just that FIFO worker that is exhausted and is struggling. It impacts everybody in the family. I understand why people do it. I do understand that it can work for some people, and if it works for you, amazing. I'm so glad and I'm so happy for you. But make sure that it's also working for the people around you. And as selfish as that sounds, and as like fucked up as that is a little bit, it does also impact the people around you. I fully understand that the FIFO worker, they are being absolutely slammed at work. They will be pushing their bodies through hell. They will be going back to a hell site, which I've already talked about and already want to change that part. It is also a different story when they come home. That's also very impactful for the people that they come home to. Especially for younger children, their whole routines change. So, for example, if it's a week on, week off situation, which I think quite a few people do, I can't really say about week on, week off, but for 1 week, they will have the same routine of both parents are there, they have the like set time frames that they do. For a young child, routine is pretty much everything to them and like a schedule. But then once that other parent leaves, then week off is a complete different change in routine. And as much as you try and stick to the same routine, it's going to be different, and it's going to be harder for that other parent, and there's going to be little bits and things that they would have to change for that week that the other partner's away. And then when they come home, it changes again. So it ends up in this continuous unscheduled routine, which is then harmful on the child. It is then harmful on the other parent, who by the time they get settled into a good routine, their partner's back and it changes again. It's a mind fuck. That's impactful. Obviously, it's impactful for the worker because they have the routine at work. They get up, they go to work, they come home, shower, eat, bed. That's a lot of their routine. Then they come home, and then all of a sudden it's changing nappies, it's toilet training, it's going out to dinner, it's trying to catch on sleep, on rest, but also while trying to make sure you're present in everybody's lives. It's harmful and it's damaging. No one gets a day off. You are constantly on the go, on the go, on the go, and something's got to give and something will burn out. And a lot of the time it's the relationship, which is then harmful again on the child. So please, if you are looking at doing FIFO work, or if you are looking at starting a family while you are currently doing FIFO work, please take into consideration a lot more things than just financial, because it is more than financial. Money isn't everything, and I know in this world money is a fucking lot and you need to be able to earn it to live your life, but you can only earn so much and it will not bring you any happiness, and you will not be living your life. You will just be surviving in it. I know that I've never done FIFO. I know that I've never been in that type of work, and I know that some people might think that I don't necessarily have the right or the information enough to be speaking on this topic, but somebody needs to, and these FIFO workers won't, or they don't want to, or they don't see a problem with it, and there is a problem with it. There is a problem with so much to do with it, and I think we keep just brushing it under the rug, and it's not getting any better, or it is too slowly getting better, and it is very harmful and damaging to a lot of people's lives. That is my take on it. That is my opinions on it. They are quite personal opinions because of the people around me and because I have seen it. I haven't even seen it, like, I haven't experienced it firsthand, but I have seen it. And I've seen the impact that it has on the people around them, not necessarily on the work, because I haven't been one, so I cannot speak on that fact, but I can speak on what I've seen and what I've heard and on my experiences from the other person. Please do with that information what you will. Please keep in mind, if you are looking at doing FIFO, if you are looking at starting a family while doing FIFO, it's a very big thing and it can be a very harmful and damaging thing. So I just want to kind of make that aware and to try and do something about it if possible. I don't know how, but something's going to give, something's going to change, because it's unfair on so many of these workers. So I think I'm going to leave that there for now. So that is my little discussion on fly in, fly out work. Thank you for yapping with Jelly. That was very much of a personal one, personal rant, different topic. So if you're still here, thank you so much. Toodaloo.